wrong. It's good, y'all.
Yeah, pretty good. Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Good stuff.
Oh my God, this. Oh. Hi everyone, my name is Mary and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm gonna follow a recipe I found on YouTube on how to make macaroon shells. And then eventually, we're gonna put them together with the filling and everything, and hopefully we'll make delicious macaroons today. So we have about 205 grams of powdered sugar, 190 grams of ground almond, 144 grams of egg white, 60 milligrams of water, 190 grams of sugar. These are going to be the base ingredients for the shell of the macaroon. This is, again, the first time that I'm trying out this recipe through an ingredient list that I found on YouTube, and so let's try it out. First off, we're gonna just process the dry ingredients, so the powdered sugar and the ground almond. I'm gonna just hop on and grab my food processor here. Here we go. We're pulsing it about 6 times. So let's see if the stuff are
Merry Christmas!
That should be good. I'm just gonna look for a spatula. You might maybe want to pause this part. There we go. It calls for egg white to be mixed into this dry batter. About 144 grams of egg whites. Pour that right in. Mix this up. Or before I mix it too much, I'm gonna go ahead and add the food coloring. The first color I'll use is about like red. These are gel food coloring. The liquid in here is not like water, so it's gel, so it has a little bit more texture. The liquid food coloring makes the texture of the shell too runny, and sometimes it changes the batter.
How do you know this?
I made many mistakes before. The flavor for this will be raspberry, so that's what I'm trying to aim for. It's starting to look like the video. It's starting to look like maybe this recipe might be pretty good.
What did you mean by the feet?
Oh, you'll find out in a bit. Because when so the feet is when the macaroon is cooked in the oven, the air of the shell leaves through the bottom, and it creates these kind of air bubbles that makes the shell look like it has a small layer underneath, and they whoever they is call that the feet because it has the, what is it? I'm gonna cover this. All right, so the second piece, the batter, says that I'm gonna make kind of like a French margarine? I don't know. Anyways, it calls for the sugar and the water to be cooked at about until 110 degrees. Oh, it's good. I'm supposed to beat the egg whites. Start to bubble, so then that means that there's enough air to whip it. Wrong. Hold on, let me go watch the video. See, that's so weird. Wait, but doesn't it look kind of... No, yeah, we have to redo this. Much better now. Once you get that stiff peak right there, then that's good. Alright, so here I am back at this batter. I'm going to scoop just a spoonful of egg whites in here to mix it up first. You could mix this and beat it pretty good. I'm gonna mix the rest of the egg whites in here. This part, is the part where it's like tricky because you have to carefully fold in the egg whites. Otherwise, if you overfold them, then they get too runny, and then your shells won't turn out good. One thing is short people problem is that I'm too short for this. So I need my stool. You know it's ready when you lift it up like this. You can see that the batter is going down and it can make a really nice ribbon. When you use real ribbon and the string of that, when you stretch it out and you drop it, and how that consistency of the ribbon like kind of like folds like this, you know, and how the flexibility of that. So that's what it is. You have to get this batter to that consistency where it could just fold like a ribbon. Yeah, I think this is good. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the oven to preheat. Okay, looks good. To preheat, bake at 106. So that's actually much lower than I've ever baked it before. That might be wrong. It might be 106. Oh, 306. You're gonna cut that out, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna just keep it at 305 degrees. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Air bubbles, they're not good for macaron shells because they can pop, you know, while the macaron shells are baking, and that can crack the shell too. The important part is to let the shells stay out for a little bit until it creates a skin on the top, and that will actually hold the shell of the macaroon. It stays round. My oven's already preheated, so we're actually going to put this aside for about 5 minutes until that skin forms. The batter will actually not get on your hand, and so that it won't be sticky anymore. It's about 15 minutes now, just a little bit over. We're just gonna test to see if the shells have that nice skin coating on the top. It's not sticking onto my finger anymore, and so it's ready for the next step. Turn this on to about 12 minutes and we're gonna come back to it. As we wait for the macaron shells to bake, we're gonna work on the filling. The filling is a French buttercream. Yep. And it's basically butter whipped with sugar, and to change up the flavor, I would just add in the, you know, the fruits or the pistachio that I'm doing here. So I finished the pistachio. Now I'm gonna also make crush the raspberry. I'm using freeze-dried raspberry that I purchased from my local grocery store, Target. Anyways. So I already have some pre-made buttercream here. I'm gonna add the different flavors into the buttercream and whisk it one more time, and then add in the flavoring. It tastes really good here. Yeah. This is why I really like this kind of buttercream, French buttercream. But then with the flavoring of the raspberry, it just brings it up a notch. Hey everyone, so we had to take a break yesterday because the whole process took a little bit too long, and so it was already getting late, and so this is day 2. And so I've actually made a second batch today after yesterday's trial with the recipe of the macaroon shells. I'm gonna finish off what I left off for today. We'll get right into the recipe again, and then we'll wrap it up and get to the ultimate test, which is the taste test. All right, so let's get to it. So that completes the macaroons that I've made. So again, I made 2 batches. This was the first day, which was yesterday, that I made. And the filling flavor is raspberry. And then today I was able to put in some more ingredients together to make up this one. This is pistachio flavor. And so the ultimate test is, does it taste like how it's supposed to?
What did you think of it?
It's good.
I don't know, explain.
Oh, hold on. I'm still eating.
You know, you didn't have to finish it, but okay. Just one bite was enough.
So yesterday when I was making the filling, I already had a taste of it, and I really liked the flavor of the raspberry filling. And it just, is a good combination because you get the tart flavor from the raspberry and then the sweet, sugary taste from the shell. So it was really soft and chewy and just really delicious. So far, really great. All right, now to the pistachio. These are fresh from today. The outer shell is still crunchy, but it is definitely soft inside. You could really taste it, but it's not like a strong taste. It's very subtle. So the combination is pretty good overall. My review on the recipe is delicious. I love macaroons. To me, it tasted like exactly how I imagine a macaroon would taste like. Like, I'm blown away because it's really good and I made them, so I liked it a lot. Texture wise for the shells is really good. So it does have the crunchy outer shell and then the chewy texture on the middle. That's how I look for really good macaroons when I want to bite into one. The recipe is also pretty easy to remember. Definitely I'm gonna try this recipe for now on, but just make little tweaks and change a couple of my resources here and there. To get the flavor that we wanted, we used freeze-dry fruit and also the fresh nuts, and so that actually made a whole lot of difference in the flavoring. So I do suggest, if you want to try flavoring your buttercream filling, go with freeze-dry fruits. The buttercream is the French buttercream, which I think is the best buttercream that you can fill these cookies with. If you have a recipe, let me know. I want to learn how to do it too. Moving forward for next time, usually the first pan is the best turnout one. The second, third pan that I piped the shells in didn't turn out that great. I either had no feet on the shells, or they were hollow, or they cracked. I did not get an accurate temperature for how long I should preheat the oven, so I just kind of guessed at 305. This shell batch, I cooked it for maybe 3 minutes too short. I didn't have a candy thermometer for the filling because then that would help me control the sugar cooking. I don't know, maybe that was the step that I might have overlooked. That's all my review for this recipe. I thought it was great overall, but there's just some things that I just did not have as a resource. But overall, I think that I'm gonna stick to this recipe. If you have a recipe that I should try, or if you know any tips and tricks about what I could do more, just let me know, comment, and leave your suggestions and tips so that I can kind of use those and tweak and make it better. All right, thanks, bye, see you next time. Ciao.